Evening guys, just been at the ice hockey down at my local rink at Bracknell. Good game. 6-1 against Streatham Redskins. So it's another win. That's I think 4 in a row now. So that's not bad going. That's the first time that's happened in a couple of years. But a friend of mine who went with me, he sent me a text message and it's showing the amount of penalty minutes. And this is a common thread amongst many sports where fans complain about how the game is refereed and officiated and how that there's differences between different officials and how they interpret the rules. He showed me the list of penalty minutes, and there was only like 3 or 4 calls in the game where the player's been done for an offence such as hooking, slashing, tripping, holding, a minor penalty in the hockey way of things. The rest was all fighting penalty minutes, and it was quite a long, quite a lot of minutes. It was almost like 40 minutes of fights because it was just the game was a pretty brutal one. I'm not gonna lie there. But the referee was basically calling a loose game, and in that term, basically the referee and in his line assistants in a hockey game, or same in rugby and football, he's letting a lot of things go. He's trying to let the game flow, but then, unfortunately, as I mentioned in previous videos about concussions and injuries, there were some borderline dirty hits basically, and there was one incident which led to a fight where a player could have actually seriously had his leg broken or blown his knee out because he was hit low and late and he was hit into the sideboards. Now, if you're not a hockey fan, you must see an ice rink with the plexiglass and the boards around. Boarding is quite a nasty one because that's where you get a lot of your shoulder concussion and leg injuries. Obviously, his legs got caught, twisted. Bracknell player limped off. He carried on. He did play on, so it wasn't as if like he was out of the game and completely done for the match, but it did lead to a bit of a retaliatory attack by one of our enforcers. Kicked the crap out of this guy and shot straight across. Sorry, I'm coughing now. But basically, because the referee was so lax in the interpretation of rules by allowing the game to fly, there was a lot of borderline and then going on. There was a period of about 15 minutes of the game where it was just elbows to heads and high hits that were not being called, and players could have got seriously hurt. Probably why there was a lot of penalty minutes, because penalties for fighting they have to sort of keep because they can't let that go because they're going to kill each other. But there was one quite serious one with the 2 players were against the boards there trying to contain the puck, if you were, and this is to non-hockey people, it's just trying to like get your defensive players in place and slow the game down, organise, and you tie the puck up by the boards, and then the third player's come in with an elbow to the head. Our players retaliated. Harvey Stead, he's hit the guy a lot. He has laid into him viciously. And this feud carried on for the rest of the game because these two were going at it, and they had another dust up later on in the game, I believe. And again, the guy cheap shotted him, hit him from behind, like smacked him like that, round the back of the head, so he's gone and got the towel on his head again. So it was it wasn't the most brutal game I've seen, but when it comes to officiating, especially fast-paced contact sports like this, like rugby, league and union, where the fans and even the players will know who's refereeing the game, and they'll know if he's a very strict guy, he's going to call everything, or he's going to call it loose or call it fair, and they know what they can and can't get away with. Clearly with this ref, whether he's refed us before or he's refed some of the players who were playing tonight before, and they know what they can get away with him and what they can push, they will do it. They will do it. They will hold, they will pull, they will trip, they will hook, they'll do all the little things that you shouldn't really do, but you can get away with. But when dirty hits are going in and dirty challenges and players get hurt, or it's over efficient, there's too many penalties and the game slows down, I get that. And I subscribe to another channel called the Hockey Guy, and I'm going to mention him in this because he's actually posted a video about if he's mentioned various sports, but he's obviously the ice hockey guy, but he's mentioned about how referees and officials are not officiating clearly and to the rule book, and cutting out the dirty plays, because if you're too strict, it frustrates the players. They're going to react. They are going to lash out or get frustrated and then give silly ones away. If you're too loose, as tonight, and this is the first time I've actually posted videos from an actual game night. I've never done that before. I thought I'd post a little. I didn't post any of the game, which was a bit annoying, but the warm up was a bit like Christ, like hit us for the puck, and then the pre-match anthem got the players all coming out, and then got them in as they started doing the handshakes. I thought I'd post a few little small ones. They're not great. The quality isn't great. I'm going to have to apologise for my previous videos. They are obviously out of controlled environment like this, with uncontrolled lighting and noise, you're not going to get the best quality. It's a bit annoying, but I got the best I could off my phone. There's one video which is so blurry it's difficult, but it just shows how much padding these guys have got and how big they are. So officiating properly is important. So next Sunday, there's another game against Basingstoke, and that's going to be a far closer contest. So this has got to be officiated properly, because tonight Streatham are a lower quality. They're not as good. They've been playing in the lower levels of ice hockey in the UK, and Bracknell been playing in the second tier. This is the old third tier, so we've come down a level because the league we're in has disbanded, and they've gone up a level because the league we're in has been reorganised. So a lot of their players are used to different refereeing standards and different pace of the game. They're not quite at the level yet. Next year, maybe, when the pool of players gets up to speed and transfers between trades between clubs, we'll see what the league will be like next year. It'll be more competitive. This year's, I think, a taster, because right now there's a few teams at the top and there's loads of teams at the bottom. Next week is two teams that know each other very well. A lot of their players are core players, they've been there a long time. If the referee tonight is the same referee next week, good God, there is going to be a bloodbath, because these two, Basingstoke and Bracknell, physically hate each other as players when they're playing. After the game, of course, they're all handshakes. They play for both clubs, and both clubs have been owned by the same people. And the hockey family, we like the rivalry. It's a friendly rivalry, but on the ice, it gets brutal. So if the referee next week refed the game with his line assistants that they did tonight, there is going to be players getting severely hurt. I mean, we were lucky tonight that Streatham put up a good show. They weren't completely out of it. They just only got the one goal. They were blown out a little bit with some of the goals we got quick. We kept on top of them. So that's something they've got to learn, as game management. And these lower grade teams will improve, and then the quality of the lower leagues in the UK will improve again, which is great. But if the refereeing standards are not consistent across the whole board, which I don't think they are, then no, the refereeing standards are questionable. Some referees are very, very good and call a lot of stuff, and some really are shocking. And I read up on the Elite League in the UK. And they have the Department of Player Safety like the NHL and like the NFL and like the Citing Commissioner in the Rugby Union, Rugby League, and incidents which are obviously on TV, which they can then use as footage. Their refereeing standard, they're held to a slightly higher account. But again, in the NHL, the NRL in Australia, the American football, all these other sports, again, there is a big discrepancy between the top referee and a referee who calls the game fair, a referee who calls everything because he just likes the sound of his own voice and his own whistle. And I have shouted at the TV and at stadiums and at the ref tonight many times about how they ref. And we do get on at officials, and they have a very hard job to do, and I really appreciate the time. A lot of them volunteer their time and do it part-time or for free. They don't get paid in lower levels of the game, and it's great that they do it. And we need to encourage more people to become officials to keep the game officiated and going, because there's not enough doing it, which is a problem. Which dilutes the talent pool to the point where it's too concentrated, there's not enough. But there's got to be some kind of, if they were to call the game correctly, you might have less frustration from players and fans and less injuries in sport. Simple. Game tonight was good. It was good to see some new fans come in. Another team we never played before, their fans come all the way from Streatham in London. Good to see that. We did beat them 6-1. I don't think that's a fair scoreline, to be fair. They were, I think, a better team than that, but it's down to game management. We did give away a sloppy one, though. We got a little bit sloppy at times. We could have had 9 or 10. But all in all, it was quite a good game. You'll see from my videos, the Bracknell ice rink needs a fair bit of repair. It's getting there slowly. It is getting there slowly. It's not perfect. The main scoreboard don't work at the moment, but it's getting there. They are slowly fixing the issues and getting the things right again. It will take time. But it was good to see a decent crowd. It wasn't a sellout, unfortunately, because we haven't really got a rivalry with Streatham. We've never played them before. But Basingstoke, this coming Sunday next week, that's going to be a sellout. It's going to be at least 2,500 to 3,000 people in there, and they're going to be screaming their heads off. And it's going to be a heated game. It's going to be a physical game. But the referees in any sport need to officiate fairly, not necessarily to the book, because that will get annoying. But then if more referees officiated and didn't let so much go, you might have less injuries, and then the players might start playing the game in a different way. But we shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for watching the live videos. That are the shocking quality. I will admit they are poor. They will get better. I'll try and get some better ones at the next week's game. And I think this is going to be a nice little theme, having a little post-match rant. Hey! But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe down below, and post comments, and share the video, watch it, and hopefully more people. And look, I've even got the 30th anniversary jersey on. Woo! So yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall talk to you guys again soon.